It's clocking.
Yep.
And hold on, we're live now.
All rise and say the pledge. Meeting order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Treasurer Kubiak?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Need a motion to accept the minutes and the budget.
Second.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Treasurer Kubiak?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
I appointed Mike to the board, Weinberg to the board, and we need that confirmed. And replacing Judy, we love Judy, so.
Need a motion.
Is he still one?
Yeah, I asked him outside. We need a motion to accept Mike. Second.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Treasurer Kubiak?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yes.
Now you gotta come up and be sworn in, and then we might let you talk.
Hey, now, before you get sworn in, you know what.
I haven't used it because it's too big and
Yeah.
you can read on there.
Oh, okay. Sure.
All right, go ahead.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Village of Tilton trustee.
Here you
Thank you, Mike.
go. Sign that. Have a seat.
Not nothing in your life is private anymore.
Yeah.
We ran 43 calls last month. One of them was a structure fire. I do believe it was outside of our district. And then the rest was just a mix between false calls and rescues with the ambulance. That's all I got. We don't have any.
How many did, 43 total?
Yeah, 43.
Guess who's next? But.
The ambulance service ran 41 total calls. Total calls for the day was 24. We covered 19 of those, dropping 5. Total night calls, we had 10 covered, dropped 7. Transported for Oakwood 13 times. Request for mutual aid other than Oakwood 19. And we covered all 19 of those outside of the city or village of Tilton. And we were busy on 3 calls of our own. That's why we couldn't go on. So 3 out of the 5, like, or the 10 that we couldn't go on.
I think you guys have been doing an excellent job
Yes.
covering.
Thank you, and fine.
I know you are.
Hard on. And then we also did 10 transfers last month. Had a discussion about the AEDs. We're in an AED crisis situation, not just with the ambulance service, but also within the village. All the AEDs that we bought, I don't remember how many years ago, one is hanging on the wall here. We have them at Public Works, the ATV park, the fire department, the police department. All the batteries are bad. You're supposed to have 2 batteries in each one, and all the AED pads are bad. You can't, so you couldn't probably defibrillate somebody if you wanted to in any of them because they were all bought at the same time. I have a quote that I've submitted to the board for 14 batteries and 14 sets of adult pads. And that quote is the $3,060. That would replace all the batteries in all of the AEDs that we have. And that would also replace all the defibrillation patches that we have that are outdated. You can't use them. The other situation that we have, we found out that with one of our life pack monitors, the blood pressure board is out of it and it's not replaceable here. We talked about would it be more cost effective to just get and look for another refurbished one. That's what we bought the first time. And I can't find a good price on one right now, but the company that I've been dealing with said that they have the parts to replace that. I don't have that paper with me. It was in the neighborhood of about $5,000 to replace the board or for the part itself, and then the bench charge or whatever you have it that they charge. I, at this point, think that we hold off on that because we have that in our second out unit and not our first out unit. But the light packs that we have, and it's not just the physio control type, what we have, it's the other two major brands also, cannot defibrillate pediatrics with that monitor. They're not built for basic level EMTs to be able to do that. They're only built at the paramedic level to be able to do that because when you defibrillate a child, you're defibrillating at 2 joules rather than 300 joules, what we do with adults. With these AEDs that we have, there's a key in them that you put into it and it dials the joules down to pediatric. You can't do that with the LifePak 15. A paramedic can dial it down manually to 2 joules, 7 joules, 15 joules, whatever we need it to defibrillate pediatrics. But a basic can't do that. They don't allow basics to manually defibrillate children. So I've got a quote for 2 new AEDs, the same as what we already have here. And that quote is also in your package. And that quote for 2 complete with batteries, carrying case, and defibrillation pads and the machine, $3,331. They are, everything is on back order right now. I was told that we can approve this and I could say, get it, and we're not going to get it tomorrow. We're not going to get it next week. It could be up to a month before we get all this because everything's on such high demand. It's on back order.
The one that you're gonna key to turn down is gonna be on the squad.
No, they would be on, that one already has it on there. These would be put on the ambulances, the 2 new ones, so that the basic EMTs would be able to defibrillate a pediatric if need be. Because right now, we can't defibrillate a pediatric on the ambulance unless there's a paramedic on board to do it.
What do you do with the old one?
We don't have no old ones.
There ain't
The
no
one you manually do, you won't.
No, that's a cardiac monitor that has an AED mode on it.
Oh,
But the basics can't dial it down
yeah, I understand.
forward joule to be able to defibrillate the patient.
But you said the blood pressure module is bad then? Is that
Yes,
right?
and
It can't be fixed at all?
it can be fixed. It's just that I think we need to go this route first because of the money it takes to do it. I mean, I'm not saying we don't need it done. At some point, we do need to send it off and get it fixed, but my main concern, right, of course, it could be back quicker, but it still can't defibrillate pediatric unless you have a paramedic on.
What, is that the newest one, refurbished one, or the oldest refurbished one?
It's the oldest refurbished one.
And that's on 2.
So basically, we took 2s off, everything off of 2, the MiFi, the tablet, and the monitor, and put it on 1, and took 1 to put it on 2. It will still monitor the heart. It still will defibrillate adult, and it will still check. It just won't do a blood pressure.
Do we need 2 motions, since it's 2 different votes?
Just make one.
$6,400 for both things you're
Yeah.
asking for then.
But I did it in separate because one is basically for the ambulance and one's for the building.
Motion?
Yeah.
Get a second?
No.
I'll second.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Kubiak,
Yes.
trustee Weidenberger,
Yes.
3,600 is the one for the village, right?
trustee Weir. I didn't hear Mike.
3,600 is for the city, right?
Okay.
36,
Batteries. and-
no, the $3,060 is for the village.
Okay.
And then the 33 is for the ambulance.
Okay.
And then I also talked to Dave about, and they didn't think about it when we ordered this new ambulance, what we were gonna do for radios. We know that radios are 8 months out. If you order now, it's gonna be at least 8 months. The fire department has a spare radio that Richard said be willing to let us use for the time being
That's it.
until the fire department needs a radio, and then we can order one. But the ambulance has to have 2 radios in it by state law. So we'd still have to order a radio. I don't have a price on it, but I know it's gonna be less than $5,000, but probably more than $2,000. Kind of like to go ahead and see about getting one ordered so that we order now. Hopefully it might be in by the time the ambulance comes in.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yeah.
trustee Kubiak, trustee Weidenberger,
Yes.
trustee Weir.
And I think that's all I have.
Cha-ching.
I think, or not?
What are you looking at me for?
Hell, hold on.
Wait a minute, you're sitting in the wrong place.
I know.
No, I can't think of anything else right now.
It'll come to you after the meeting.
I'm sure it will.
Mine always do.
And it probably end up being more important what you just brought up.
All right, Phil, you're up.
Write it down.
We've stayed steady for the month, 350 calls for service. We've made 17 arrests with 13 PNTs for the month. Officers have issued 63 citations with 32 warnings. We had 3 ordinance violations issued as well as 2 ordinance violation warnings. Our K9 made its state certification, been on the street for a little over about 10 days now, almost 2 weeks, and he made his first, although small, but he got his first seizure of methamphetamines the other night on a traffic stop. So he's 1 for 1, so I'm doing good, good start. So also, I presented an ordinance for an auxiliary position for auxiliary police. Basically, they wouldn't act as a police officer, take over any officer's duties. It's just basically for right now to accommodate
The court.
basic security for a court officer.
Yes.
Unfortunately, both days this month in court, we've had problems where someone had to be removed. Luckily, I was here both days, but if something happens and I'm not here, we definitely need somebody to be here. So present this ordinance and ask you to consider that for.
Need a motion.
And they would answer directly to you. They would work directly under you.
Yes, that's correct.
Somebody made it.
Somebody did, who did one?
Made it, I said.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yeah.
trustee Kubiak,
Yes.
trustee Weidenberger,
Yes.
trustee Weir.
Man, I'm mad about that.
I know.
Any committee reports? That's gonna be Nikki.
Oh, you need to do Phil, you need to do TJ for
TJ, I'm sorry. Yeah, TJ.
Trying to skip me, Mayor. I want to have my moment. TJ wasn't able to join us tonight. Real quick, I don't think he submitted the report up here. Just give you a quick rundown. Usual routine pickup throughout the town. They got the TVs mounted at the boardroom, so thank you to him and Brian for doing that. They completed the next phase of the Delwood Stormwood Sewer Project. They've been working diligently on the overgrown brushways and the alleys. Repaired and lowered a catch basin on Fifth Street and cleaned the waterway behind 3 Taylor. I think the mayor talked to them. It might be something we're looking for next fiscal year to see if we can repair it, but that's something down the road.
fob system. System, fob system.
They started getting the fob system. You don't have to speak on that because I don't know. They got them installed in all the buildings. I'm assuming.
They've got City Hall, ambulance garage, Public Works. They still have to do Fire Station 1 and Community Center.
So those are underway. There in front of you, there's a proposal from Austin Development to put we need approval to get the ramp up at Thomas Park at the new band stage. That quote came in for $4,252.03. That's a 22-foot ramp with handrails and a 4x4 platform with handrails connected.
30 foot now.
Sorry, it's 30 foot.
Yeah, the platform.
Well, that's
I mean, not the platform, the ramp is.
That's not what my quote says.
Motion for that.
I'll make a motion.
I got one question. The code I got here says 0.
Not that one. That's not the right one. It's the one Tiffany just passed out.
That's
Stapled.
This is the one you.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the one that's in your packet.
it's stapled.
Want this one, Billy?
No, I want this one.
Oh, okay.
never signed.
On the back side of your quote, there's a drawing kind of illustrating what that ramp looks like. We have.
Yes.
I need a second.
Thank you.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Sheets.
Yeah.
Trustee Washkowiak.
Yes.
Trustee Weidenberger.
Yes.
Trustee Weir.
I still want zero. Can't say it. Oh, I don't care about all this, just let us know what it cost you to do it for nothing.
Yeah, so you get zero on it. Mine's all
I
right.
know, I know. You can lead a horse to water, can't make him.
See, Bob got a zero too.
That is,
Bob zero too?
it's for the signs.
Never on signs. Never on signs.
All right.
He was doing it for nothing, supposedly. But we were getting a different company anyway.
The signs are next, so.
All right.
Anybody in the audience have anything?
My name is Amy Mackin, and I would like to make a formal complaint against your police department.
You have to do that
In writing.
in writing, and then you have to do it so we can take it to committee. Okay, because it's a lot easier. I understand what you're wanting to complain about, but it's a lot easier if you want to do that.
Yeah, because I've been calling here for weeks.
And you still, yeah, but you have to put it in writing what the complaint it is, okay? Because we don't discuss stuff like it in the public. That's not public knowledge.
Okay, I was told by your board members to come here.
Okay, that's fine, but you still need to put it in writing. Okay? Thank you. Connie?
Well, I just wanted to thank everyone for keeping the park so nice. I used it a lot. Universal Lake this last week.
Cool.
And I want to thank you boys over there for taking care of
Always your day.
me, especially Butch.
Don't go no farther, okay? I know where you're going with that.
It's our secret.
Oh, my goodness.
You went there.
This might be a time.
I do appreciate everything here.
I wasn't ready that night.
You're welcome.
Joe?
She might have been, but I wasn't.
I'm Joe Fleisner Engineering. I help the village with your MS4 drainage, and I like to give you guys an update every month or so about what we're doing and some of the projects that I'm working on with the village. And so since last meeting, August 2nd, I went down to the Vermilion River. We had a little bit of rain, but the water's been low. Oftentimes I like to go out to the outfitters and have them drop me up by Butler Creek. That's where the Salt Fork merges with the Middle Fork, becomes the Vermilion River. And then I kayak or canoe down and look at all the discharges along the edge of the river. But it was so low, they said that 50% of the time you'd have to walk. So they said they had the river closed. So I walked about 6 miles that day from down where the old Danville Dam was and down along the bank and took pictures. The water was really low, so you could see the ground really well. I did get 38 photos logged of those conditions down there. There are some tires, and I saw some construction crimping equipment, and I also went up the North Fork River. Now, as far as it being low, the river for the kayak canoe access along Tilton's border, it appeared to me I would have been able to bring kayak through that section okay. Where the difficult section that would look like it could be kind of iffy for people to get would be where they go upstream up the North Fork into Ellsworth Park. And what they have are 2 yellow flags marked there for people to notify that. But there's like a lot of bricks and non-native construction demolition material that's probably migrated down there, was dumped on the banks over the years, and it has kind of filled up that mouth area. And so people would have to get out and walk on that. And I could see where that would be a tricky situation. And so I don't know if the Army Corps of Engineers in the future would allow for some kind of coordination between the government agencies to get some of that non-native material back up on the bank, and if that can open up a channel up to the boat launch there in Ellsworth Park. He likes to pick people up there. The second obstacle, where they took the old Danville Dam out, there's a flat ground back behind Subway there. That could be a turnaround point, but him getting out on Route 1. But there are 2 pipes that are exposed then in the river just upstream of Route 1. So I did take a look at that, took pictures of all that, and I'm still hoping to get with that outfitter and take the trip this season.
One's an old water line.
Yeah, there's 2 pipes there that are exposed right next to each other. Sometimes you can only see one of them, now you can see 2, but they definitely, you wouldn't be able to go over them, you'd have to walk over it. But there were areas where I was able to cross the stream and I was able to.
Problems created by Danville asphalt.
You mean where the other bricks and the other debris?
Well, Owens owns it now, but Danville asphalt, that's what caused all that debris down there.
Yeah, they could get a reform crew or something down there with some kayaks or something and core permits to do something with that material to maybe open that up. But how that mouth works at the river, whether it's filled back in or not, they may have some expertise there and the timing with the wildlife. But those conditions might be able to be improved somehow and get some of the other debris and tires out of there while they're at it. If they could maybe have the crew kind of load things up to the launch.
Instead of bouncing the shell pit, it went the other direction, went to the river.
Yeah, I did notice that in Ellsworth Park too, there were some of those county West Nile virus testing units. I'm going to probably call them and see if they have results for any of that when I get a chance. So on the 4th, what I did was after that rain, a couple of days later, I went to the discharges, kind of that discharge from the storm sewers and the discharges from Tilton, and took a look at those and have some pictures of those. It's pretty overgrown in those areas, so getting down to some of those is quite a challenge, but I've done it enough times that I know my way through there. But I didn't notice any major issues down through those areas, as far as I didn't notice any identifiable pollution. And so that was kind of a good thing.
You just wait, Joe, because if our engineers and everybody don't get their stuff together, you can go down there and see all kinds of pollution.
Yeah, no doubt.
When I look later in the season, I might notice.
No, I already told tell the EPA, everybody's hoping on money enough for our sewer project, so we'll just start releasing it right into the river.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I have been working on for the MS4 is the topographic. I took 750 observations of the topographic of the public works facility. And so I did get copies of the plans for the treatment plant. I'm taking those into consideration. And I believe we're close on the elevation systems that I'm doing with that. And I want to get that map to you, Mayor. I'm working on the drafting of it. Ultimately, I would like to see the whole park done as part of that. And then maybe down the road right here. Well, so a couple things that might be improved on. I noticed like people mobilizing with vehicles kicks up a lot of dust and things. It's difficult with heavy trucks and pavements and things, but at least some forethought into what could be done and what the costs might be in the future to make improvements to how those pavements work through that area to kind of keep some of the dust down for the park and the workers.
Wait till inflation drops, wait.
Until what?
Inflation drops. And oil prices.
Yeah, there's some things. There's different kind of pavements that can be done, and we could evaluate those then once we have the topography, that'll be helpful. And getting some of the underground information. And I did get copies from Doug down there at the office of the building down there. Now, that building, is that a mirror image of what the original plans are for the public works facility? Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Just took it and mirrored it kind of?
Yeah, flipped it.
Flipped it?
Yep.
Okay, that's what it
Yep.
kind of looks like, because I'm going to go through that and try to get some of those partitioning inside of the buildings on those maps and things. And so as far as the MS4 goes, that's what I'm working on in the future. I'll be working on probably some green infrastructure mapping and continuing on with the drafting. And I do want to get down the river again. I'm going to take some more looks at Great Creek and getting photos along with the reports and several other items. And those items will probably happen in the next couple of meetings. Does anybody have any questions on the drainage program and the pollution prevention with the village from A? Or? Okay, very good. Thank you for
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah. The other thing is since last meeting, we talked about the ambulance site. And we did speak with MET, and they have done soil borings there. And we made a map. I sat down with the mayor. We kind of talked about some of the concepts. After doing the surveying and drafting, We decided to do 2 soil borings in 2 locations there. And we can, kind of take a look at where the utilities are then with the stability and whether you want to go a slab and then a basement or the building part of it on. And, or wrap, in the future, you could wrap the utilities then around the building maybe. And so there were some items, but I do have a copy of that map here, Mayor, of where the soil borings were achieved. I rode by there tonight, and it looks like they have achieved doing the field work on the soil borings, and there's piles of the shavings. They're kind of mounted up, and that'll probably allow for that.
And the holes are open. You'd have thought that they'd have put the gravel back in the hole rather than leave the hole.
Yeah, I didn't notice the hole being open. I just noticed a pile
They
of
must have
dirt.
come back here within the last couple of days because it was left open.
Yeah, what that might have been is we asked them to monitor the groundwater conditions. I haven't seen the reports yet, but sometimes they'll come back for several days and then measure the groundwater. Because if you get into a basement, you have to have a sump pump. Sometimes if there's groundwater getting into seams, it'll get into the collection system, and those sump pumps can run all the time until they burn out, and then there's a flood. So, trying to see if that's one of those conditions that we have to be concerned about. And so I was really looking at maybe if this possibility would still be to have the building up against the other building, and then go a slab over the utilities, then down with the basement. And then you still have room around the south side of the building to bring all the utilities around in the future if you wanted to. Or maybe some of those you want to do now, but there are some options there, I think, and we were looking at where the other lots are available and whether that slab there can be cut to get to where your setback lines are with your zoning ordinances, and somebody could build a house on a slab. Well, a garage, you'd want to be a little bit concerned about the flat floor with it being wet with the snow melt and ice melt and things. But, or whether it would be removed completely. But I did draw up this concept of that. I was hoping to get with you. I know you were working that day, but I put down my thoughts after doing the surveying and the drafting of my ideas of what might work out decently out there with parking spaces and accessibility and utilities. And I went over that with the mayor, and that's how we decided on where the selection of the soil borings would be located. And then we can take that into consideration, and then, well, we can start working towards what layout works for you guys, and then maybe talk about, what your budgets would be in the future of being able to get something.
$3 million right now. Isn't
If you spend money,
it?
So I'll check in with MET about the reports, and then how long to leave those piles out there. I mean, before maybe the bucket of the backhoe or something, they're down in that area, can swoop those up, but it'd probably help get the bore shaft settled down so the hole doesn't sink down if that pile sits on there for a little while. And so that's where we're at with that. Those were 20-foot deep soil borings. And so they did them Monday, August 8th. They did call me, and I went out to the site real briefly and looked at what they're doing and took a few photos. So,
no results back yet?
excuse me?
No results back?
No, I haven't seen the results back yet. So I'm anticipating the report on that, and then I'll get the copy to the mayor, and hopefully which also we can take that into consideration in the development plan. The other thing that I did do, Mayor, when I was over at the park during the flea market thing, sitting in with that music group, I took an elevation on that stage out there. On my map here, I had that at 646. I noticed you guys had a ramp tonight. Is that something I can get the drawing of for the ramp that's being proposed on that?
He's got it.
Who's gonna stick it in? You don't get none.
Yeah.
It's just it's a handicap ramp. It goes.
It's all aluminum.
32 feet ought to be plenty.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at the elevations. Which direction is he going with the
Going north, going south with the ramp.
Going south?
Yes.
Off the backside towards like that school honor?
Yes. Yep.
That's towards the south.
Yep.
Okay.
Southeast corner.
That's a military honor, too.
Yeah, okay, is that what that is? Right, I know there was one of those there too. And so, yeah, I was helping the band members get up the stage, and there was on the stage, there was no rails, and so I had to help carry some of the equipment up. Now, off of the street, it was kind of nice to be able to pull the equipment up and just lift it up on there, but there was no rails there. I think we were okay up there, but ultimately, I mean, if somebody's bobbling around or something, it's kind of a long distance down up from the sides there.
Yep.
So,
It's a park, it's a hazardous. You need to put the hazardous sign up.
and then those ramps, making sure they're sturdy enough in the 1 to 12 max. There's the pro wag code.
Matter of fact, it's gonna be more, because I think the stage is like 32 inches tall, so this is like 30 or, yeah, it's going 32
The
feet.
platform and then 30 feet.
Yeah, it varies on different sides. The front side of it, to get to the 1 to 12, on the kind of like the northwestern face of the stage, it faces the front of the park. That side, you'd have to drop 25 feet of dirt, or something. Wasn't able to achieve the 1 to 12 looking at the numbers going to the
So they're
sidewalk.
coming off the side on
Northeast,
the east side.
east side.
Yeah, that's the side where I wasn't able
That's
to
where you
get
unloaded that, on the east side.
off the existing concrete, or?
Yep, going to the existing concrete by the war memorial.
Yeah, I want to look at that slope because I ran the numbers earlier. I didn't see.
I'm telling you, you don't have to look at nothing. I'm telling you, it's 12 to 1.
Yeah.
Trust me, we went through this when
You
we,
guys measured
but
it.
Paul had to redesign it because I told him it wasn't right.
Paul has the design, he did the design, or?
Yeah.
Paul did?
But it was, Virgil was
Charging
measured.
assist for this?
Huh?
What,
He charged
32
for
inches? 32 inches, that's 32 feet.
Better not.
And then
I measured the front of it 32 inches.
At the face of the wall,
Huh?
at the face of the wall,
No, from the ground to the top of the stage.
right at the face of the stage.
Yeah.
But where the ramp connects to
Right
it,
next to the steps is where I measured.
will the ramp be right against the
The
stage ramp?
ramp's gonna be on the east side.
There's a 4x4 platform at the north end of the stage on the east side. From that platform, it goes down 32 feet.
Parallel.
For
To
a
the south.
32-inch rise.
To the south.
To the existing concrete there?
Yeah,
Okay, I looked at those, I wasn't able to get a 1 to 12 on my map on that.
That is 1 to 12, 32 feet, 32 inches, that's one.
Yeah, because there's fall from where the ground is on the edge of the stage down to that.
The platform is 32 inches high, so we gotta have 32 feet of.
yeah, and we're making 30.
It's like 0.833%.
I didn't measure it all the way around. I mean, the ground might be a little bit lower on the back.
That ain't where the rent's going.
That ain't where it's going. Yeah, I measured.
Okay,
So I don't know.
But I'd like to take a look at that number before he does the install, just to make sure you're gonna make.
that's what I ordered.
I did take the measurement. Does anybody have any further questions for me?
Nope.
Is he told to do
There's no approval for EPA loan or change orders. So Curry pay request was 68,420.33. And we need a motion to do that after we get reimbursed from the controller's office.
So moved.
There,
We're putting a stipulation of when they're
After.
coming back to work.
We're waiting to see if they are going to come back to work.
that? Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yep.
Trustee Kubiak?
But this is stuff they ordered.
Trustee
They were-
Weidenberger?
it's already-
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
yes. There still hasn't answered me.
But it ain't gonna be till we get the money from EPA.
That's right.
Actually, the money from EPA is no problem. It's getting the comptroller.
Comptroller.
The EPA is the one that's mad right now.
We need somebody to shake her tree because something needs to get done.
Yeah.
So Mike Mayer needs to get moving. Whatever he needs to call, but
Well, the
it's
problem,
ridiculous.
like I said, after
Comptroller's office.
comptroller ain't never done this before. They can't understand what, she did it.
EPA said they never had this before, I know.
She's never done this before, but all of a sudden she started to stick her nose in it and help our money.
Was it because she looked at who we all voted for, and wasn't her, is that why? Or?
I ain't gonna say that in public, but they're trying to get
It's unprecedented and she needs to get off her, you know what, and do
Might
something.
be, it might be an IDOT thing.
But that goes back to what I was telling you, if they don't get us our money, it'll be going to the river, and the EPA will figure out what comes in.
Mendoza or
Something like that,
Yeah, Mando.
yeah. Men don't do it.
Okay, we got one bid on Brentwood Street for the
Nope.
property.
Nope, Meitzler.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have no
Meitzler Street. You
bids, so
didn't
what
have
do we
no
want to
bid
do
on
with
it.
that?
got what, no bids?
We don't have no bids on Brentwood
Brentwood
Street
Street.
yet,
Oh,
so we're still mowing it.
we're still owners.
Yeah, we're still owners. But we do have a bid for Meister Street.
$5,000.
Dang, he's way over.
No, that was a minimum bid.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we moved it up?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, need a motion to accept, John Coons' bid for 5,000.
Second.
Who's the neighbor? Nice, yeah.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yep.
Trustee Kubiak?
Yes.
Trustee Weidenberger?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yes.
What's the highest bid? 5,000. Ordinance number 020220818A, amending chapter 50 of the village code pertaining to established position for the village administrator. Need a motion to do that.
I'll make a motion.
They're gonna be Tiffany.
Trustee Finley?
After the 30 days. it has to
Trustee
be-
Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Kubiak?
Yes.
Trustee Weidenberger?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yes.
Ordinance number 020220818B. Ordinance sets salary of the mayor of the village of Tilton to be elected, and that's, it's actually 2 municipal elections away. 25, year 25,
Which is the next municipal election for mayor, right?
yes.
You give us something.
Hmm?
Give us something.
This goes in effect in 25.
Yeah. No. All
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yeah.
Trustee Kubiak?
Yes.
Trustee Weidenberger?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yes.
Ryan was gonna bring that Peacemaker project, but, we donated last year to at the park over here at Danville Stadium.
Yeah, I got information on it here, hold on.
So I think we need to donate again this year.
It's September 17th, 2022 at Danville Stadium. They did it last year. It's for, it's the Chris Oberheim Memorial Softball. It's the champion officer that lost his life last year, I believe. And his wife created the Peacemaker 703. One thing Scotty requested, that he would like to make the donation and ask you guys to make the donation directly to the Peacemaker 703 and not to the event. That way it's not used on fireworks or something.
Right.
He wants to actually go to benefit the organization. But
I think we donated both last year.
I think we went in, I think we donated, and we might have went in with the city of Danville.
But we donated money for the fireworks too.
I'm okay with that, but I would like to make sure that we have $1,000 to the actual organization.
So you wanna do both now?
Sure.
1,000 for the fireworks and 1,000 to the project.
Well, I don't think we spent $1,000 last year, but sure.
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
How much we give last year?
We gave 1,000 to the actual Peacemaker 703 project, which is the organization, and we went in with the city of Danville on fireworks.
Much we go in?
I don't remember. We did half, but it was, so, okay, but,
Whether it was like an.
Yeah, but that was.
but we also didn't do,
No, we only gave to the Prince Oberheim.
We didn't have
that.
Right.
We gave separately to,
Right, for
Well, we
damn
had
4th of
fireworks
July
together.
fireworks.
yeah, but we didn't have 4th of July.
We didn't have our own fireworks
Right,
I would say, I'm okay with putting 1,000 towards.
For the fireworks.
event
for each,
and 1,000 for the,
right.
1,000 each.
I'll make the motion, we put $1,000 to the Peacemaker 703 project and $1,000 to the Chris Oberheim Memorial Softball.
I'll second it.
I'll look it up.
I think
Trustee Finn-
it's made out to the same, I believe, too.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yep.
Trustee Kubiak?
Yes.
Trustee Weidenberger?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yes.
Intergovernmental agreement between, with the village of Tilton and the village of Muncie.
Or,
We're paying
Dave
the
Beard.
building inspector. We're gonna pay him and then Muncie's gonna reimburse us because they don't have nobody on payroll.
to do what?
The building inspector, Dave's gonna do it.
What do we ever do with him doing ordinances or whatever?
He's still doing
He's
them.
doing
Been doing
He's
it?
not doing, he's doing certain ordinances, right?
Right, we're just utilizing him when I'm kind of at the
Building.
end and nothing's getting done to see if we can get buildings
We
taken care of.
put- max of 20 hours or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For bigger
So
staff.
They're
But
really.
he only gets involved when it's buildings. Everything
Yeah.
else, the police department's
But
enforcing.
I'm talking
For
about
us.
Muncie.
Oh, Muncie's gonna have
Oh.
like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Gotcha, but they're gonna reimburse 100%
Yeah.
minus the
For his
pay for work comp.
Plus, yes, that plus
Workman's comp and
his
everything.
pay and taxes.
So they're reimbursing us 100%. Basically,
Yeah, I've talked to them, yes.
Yeah.
so it's not costing us a dime.
No.
Yeah, they're just gonna reimburse us because they don't have W-2 employees.
I'll say that.
They don't have no employees, so they don't pay tax.
Paying money?
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Kubiak,
Yeah.
trustee Weidenberger,
Yeah.
trustee Weir.
Yeah,
We advertise this or not.
have a little bit.
No, we did not.
Very well known, don't you? Have no clue what's going on.
Green on there, right there.
All I heard was 100%. They're paying for it. Go around with that.
I know I've got.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a report here when you get done.
Okay.
Need a motion to purchase 104 West Second on back taxes, approximately $800. And that's all the lots like Kirk Williams' corner and all
Is
that.
that the one, is that the one that looks like it needs to be?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the house and the
Like
lots.
5 years ago?
Yes.
I'll make a motion.
So that can-
I contacted the county trustee. They're supposed to be getting back to me, but usually if we have a lien or we've mowed the properties and done things for that, they will sell it to us first before they'll put it out for bid.
So we can turn around and resell.
I'm just waiting on an answer.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets.
Yeah.
Trustee Kubiak,
Yes.
trustee Weidenberger,
Yes.
trustee Weir.
Main contract with Midwest Asphalt on the bridge project, adding Ross Lane, 3 or 4 panels that need to be replaced where that blew up during the summer.
So I'll put them back.
So moved.
Oh, sorry. Second.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets.
Yeah.
Trustee Kubiak.
Yeah.
Trustee Weidenberger,
Yes.
trustee Weir.
Now we'll go to the treasurer's report since I forgot it a while ago.
That's what that was.
I know.
Okay, so, we have a couple of quotes for a new, digital, completely LED TV quality sign at Tom's Park,
This one.
To advertise on.
Hold on.
to advertise different
I said no.
events, things that are going on there. We got a quote for $33,168. It's gonna be a little higher than that because we aren't buying 3 that they quoted. And I went online and found a quote from the people who we bought the sign here from, and it's lasted 8 or 9 years, and the sign at the community center.
And the one's Thomas Park.
And this one is 21,470. And it's double-sided, it's got the temperature, it's got extended Wi-Fi, it's P10 millimeters. And it's, you guys have it in front of you.
5-year warranty, right?
Yeah, 5-year warranty.
That's $12,000 cheaper.
Yes, it is.
Well, it also
What
comes
about
with a cabinet.
who's installing that? This one. But even if we go with the TV liquidator, who's installs that?
This comes ready to go with no assembly required, built-in mounting brackets and installation guide included, easily attached to walls, posts, poles, and just about
Paul
anything
said he'd
else.
do it, but we're,
So the answer to that question is.
We're
public works.
Their signs are fully self-contained, fully weatherproof, and there is no need to build a cabinet.
But do we have the equipment to secure it, to hold it up?
Oh,
It's 238 pounds
Yeah.
each side.
we got a loader and
So we gotta send them the specs on this thing? So they can build it to fit in between them?
No, because the sign goes, the middle of the poles mount to the
I
sign
understand that, but they don't know how far them poles are apart.
Yeah, but
That's what I mean.
is 91 inch,
It's 91 by 40.
is 91 by 41 and the poles are 3 foot apart. So,
You hang it on the pole.
yeah,
Poles are 3 foot. That's only 36 inches.
yeah. But the sign's 41 inches wide.
So it's going on top?
No, the poles go between both panels, so it don't make any difference.
Gotcha. Oh, gotcha. I get what you mean.
because it's 2 panels.
Yeah, yeah.
Then they just hook both panels together.
Gotcha.
Well, they're not on the ends of the sign.
No, you can put them in the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
Because, the poles,
That sound right?
yeah, you got double-sided sign, so.
On that sign at the park.
I haven't seen the
Yeah,
drawings.
I never paid any
It was
attention to
the
that.
original weight of the original
How-
sign.
Is that the way the one up there, or is the
Yes,
stanchions in the center of the sign?
it's 2 panels, yeah.
Well, I never looked.
Yeah.
I never paid attention now.
I know everything's back ordered. Did
I
they?
heard you say 200 some odd pounds.
I just thought that they were
This one's 238
in
per
between
panel.
posts, you know.
Per panel, so double
You're
that.
buying
for
two.
total weight.
You're buying
Oh.
2 sides. This one's on the outside of the pole, and it's on the outside of the other side. And then they wire together.
They're in the sign,
Right.
the post.
Yes, they're going on the backside of this one and on the backside of the other one, and then they're wired together. Tiff, what was the, if we say we just ordered it today, obviously that's not happening, but
3 to 5 weeks.
4 to 6.
Oh, 4 to 6, sorry.
I hope so.
Sorry, you were close enough.
So are we just reviewing this and voting on it?
Well, the one up there, I don't think, it can't be programmed anymore.
Yeah, well, we can, but it's just one line.
Right,
With the new
right.
stage, it's nice to, be able to advertise events that are going on there.
No, I agree. I'm just asking, we're not taking action on this today. It's just for review.
Yeah. I mean, you can vote on it or not,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter,
We need motion to accept the quote.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
For what?
Sign. On the TV liquidator,
How much?
21,470.
free shipping.
Oh, that's enough.
And that's just for Thomas Park?
Yeah, Thomas Park.
Too bad they built that into the $10,000 fine.
Yeah.
Motion?
What happens if it's, say, part of the panel goes out? I know it's under warranty, but
It's under warranty for
ship
5
out another.
Yeah, they will. We've had work before and had ordered stuff for them. They're right on it. You owe them and they're right on it.
Yeah, they really have been good.
Yeah.
I'll do a motion.
Two second.
I did.
Brian?
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets.
Yeah.
Trustee Kubiak,
Yes.
trustee Weidenberger,
Yes.
trustee Weir.
Mike, you got anything?
I'll say thank you. Yeah.
Problem, thank you for stepping up. Ryan?
I don't think so. Coming up, we're under a month away for the September event at Toyota, for the fire and EMS. We meet weekly, we've been meeting weekly on Wednesday night. Got a really good support group going on. We are well above our goals that we had last year going into the event. We are officially over the $6,000 mark before we even went into the event weekend. So we're kind of shooting for that 15,000. I don't think we'll have an issue hitting the 10,000. So we're just going to go big. Two full days packed of events. Mike talked about last month. Logan Kirby's confirmed he's going to be there Friday night and doing his Elvis impression for about an hour. And then the Logan Kirby band's going to take the stage. Other than that, that's about all I got.
Virgin?
Who?
Rachel?
Me? I thought you said Judy. I don't have anything. I'm looking into getting a reinvestment on our cemetery.
Yes,
And getting the ducks in a row to do that at a higher
yes.
CD rate.
We are getting a little more money when we put it in our savings or in the
Money market.
money market.
Yeah.
We're getting a little more, but not what Keith is quoting.
The last quote I had today, and I talked to him, of course, it changes, but a 2-year CD's right at 3.25 or 2.7. That's not bad
No.
Yeah, we're getting 1.1 on it.
nowadays. You gotta go to the big banks to get that kind of money.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna get it
And
low.
Keith knows how to do it, so.
Yeah. Got some paperwork to fill out, because we have to open an account there in order for him to do it.
Okay.
But I talked to
It'd
Tim,
be worth the money.
you got a paper to fill out, Tim, or Cassidy and Lori or somebody. Hey, just counts all this.
Cool.
So we
Billy,
can bill you.
Bob?
Butch said it's okay.
Mike Davis called from the land bank and just want to know if we had any properties they were, as far as assisting on the demo,
All of them.
all of them.
Which one they want to start on?
Well, and then they, I guess they have some money on some of the, that they're wanting to, some projects, and also they're coming up with a program for helping like some seniors on roofing repair.
Please, yes.
And so he was wanting to, if we could kind of get some sort of a list of a couple individuals. That they didn't say seniors specifically, but that's kind of no rental houses, no, it has to be owner occupied houses that they are looking to help with. I don't know the extent of the roof repairs, but that was something that they were wanting information on, that they were having money coming for, so.
What's nice they did is now after 2 years ago, everybody got their roof replaced.
Yeah.
But that's what.
Some of them don't have it. Someone on that, but I think he's still on the road.
Yeah,
neighbor
that's what
don't.
I was just thinking of.
Ernie, they don't even have insurance
I know, I also don't have sight.
All their seniors.
Oh, that's.
for them.
Exciting,
Billy?
They just put one on a garage, but
I ain't got a lot. Joe, got a nice little concert. It took, I shut 6 dozen here record listening to
Yeah,
it.
good con-
Good job, Bill.
Anybody else in the
I'm still trying to
public?
figure out why you kept getting off the stage on
That
stage.
house across from Grace Community, that.
Variance.
Yeah,
boy, that's,
Why are they not gonna, just not gonna put siding on there still, even after they were told to do so? Or-
I need to write him a letter, probably because they've got their feathers in it. Because we wouldn't rezone it for commercial.
That's not my problem.
I know.
Everybody else on the block has to have siding and look presentable, so they need to get on it or get out.
When we have,
kind of junked up.
What's the name?
All them
That's why they
damn
didn't-
flowers sitting there.
That's why they didn't bring somebody.
we'll have bigger staff do it.
Look too trashy.
Side him.
One accountable, not the other.
Yes, I agree.
By the way,
Can we hold businesses liable for their weeds and grass too?
who?
Businesses.
Business.
That nutrient down there on West Ross Lane, they moved out last year and they haven't mowed the grass since they moved out. And it's 3 foot tall from the curb
Send them along.
down there on West Ross Lane. It looks,
Stick bigger staff on
No, I stick the cop
them.
on
Well,
it.
that's a police. That's,
There
We'll send them a warning.
you
Work on that in the morning.
have we still got that house there on Willis by me that this care outfit owns? It's still got a condemned sign on it.
go. I bet that was 10 years old, wasn't it?
I didn't go up and read it, but it's on the,
You want,
it's on the west side of the house.
well, bigger staff looked at it one time, he was working on the roof. Did he ever finish it?
Yeah, he finished it, yeah.
They fixed the roof, but that was.
So we need to get it occupied or whatever. Wonder what the inside looks like.
I got no
last time
idea.
it was all studs on the inside.
Is it open
Last
stuff?
time I knew.
We
Yeah.
need bigger staff on that one too.
Yeah, the condemned sign's still
Okay,
on the west side of the building for the house.
well, we scared him off.
Well, they were just letting the animals live in there, weren't they?
They tried it, but we stopped
Yeah,
that.
we stopped that.
That's what they bought it for. They had them in the garage for a while, but got out of there.
I knew it. You're right. I did remember it. Transmission in the new ambulance is leaking. all over.
that is a kind of an important.
So, they looked at it. They think that it might be the, can gasket. So we're just waiting to get it into Carnegie to get it replaced.
Okay. You had to
All
have,
over the floor.
you had to have transmission fixed in the oven, right?
Yes, it goes in next Wednesday for new torque converter.
Okay. Must be transmission day.
AED don't mean nothing if you can't get there.
Need a motion to adjourn.
I don't know any problems other than it's all.
Trustee Finley? Trustee Sheets?
Yep.
Trustee Sokoviak?
Yes.
Trustee Weidenberger?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yes.
Stand adjourned.